Okay. Glory to God. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome today. Welcome today. Welcome to this channel. Welcome to this channel. I'm happy to see you today again. I'm happy to, to have reached you today. I'm happy to see you. Yeah. And it's been a while. It's been a while. In our last lesson for this channel, in our last lesson we were talking about how to use the bass clef, the treble clef, how they are both interwoven, how they are both interrelated, and the relationship between the bass clef and the treble clef. So that was lesson, I guess, lesson 11, lesson 12, and lesson 13. Then I did one alone. I did one, lesson 14. That one I did it already. It's on my YouTube channel. So okay, let's just start. Okay, so what is this channel is what does this channel do, or what is it all about? Okay, now this channel, what I do is I coach the young ones, the young people that want to go into music, especially musical instrument, those that want to learn the musical instrument, the keyboard, for example. Yeah. So what I do, I coach those that want to learn the keyboard, acquire the knowledge of how to play the keyboard, and also work on your voice, on your vocal sensation, and you know your vocal balance. So I deal in voice training, and I deal in keyboard training. So but for this course, what we are doing, or what we are dealing with now, is the keyboard, is the keyboard. So I'll be running down a series of lessons. Yeah, I'll be running down a series of lessons. So I've done lesson 1, I've done lesson 2, I've done lesson 3, I've done lesson 4, I've done lesson 5, I've done lesson 6. lesson 7, lesson 8, lesson 9, lesson 10, lesson 11, 12, 13, and last week we did lesson 14. Yeah, last week we did lesson 14. So all the lessons are all in my videos. They are all in my channel. So this channel is all about for those that want to acquire the knowledge of the keyboard. This lesson per se, sorry, this lesson or this tutorial that I'm organizing is for those that are serious minded that want to learn the keyboard, acquire the knowledge of the keyboard. So peradventure you wanted to learn the keyboard for years, or you wanted to learn it for some time, but it's been difficult or it's not been easy. So this is an opportunity for you to get everything. It's a free lesson, so you ain't paying any money. You ain't paying any money to anybody. So you just watch it, and which you get your keyboard ready. Like I said, you need to have your keyboard, get your writing materials, then watch all my lessons, uh, and follow them. Do all that I say you should do. Rehearse, and Okay, so by the way, I've not heard anything from you. I didn't hear any question. I didn't see you writing any question. There was no questions in the previous classes. I hope you understanding all that. I hope you understood all that I taught. I hope you understood all that I taught from my lesson 1 to lesson 14. Now, remember, I said if you don't understand anything that I have taught in the past, please drop your questions. That's very, very important. Drop your questions, please. So I remain my humble self, Omogbo Bright Keys, aka Bright Keys. I'm a song writer. I'm a gospel artist. I'm a vocalist. I'm a song composer, and I'm a keyboardist as well. So what I do in this channel is just to teach the people, anyone that is interested in the keyboard or trying to learn the keyboard, just to teach the person, give the person the knowledge of how to play the keyboard and to become a self-developed professional keyboardist. So today we are going to be working on lesson 15. Have we? Yeah, lesson 15. Right. We did lesson 14 last week. So today is going to be lesson 15. Yeah, today is going to be lesson 15. Lesson 15. Yup. So so in our previous lesson, lesson 14, we were talking about the bass clef. We did through the treble clef. I explained the treble clef to you. I told you the function. I told you the features. I told you everything the treble clef was involved in, right? Before we digressed in the lesson 11, in the lesson 12 and lesson 13, before we digress to learning of treble clef and bass clef, remember I was teaching you scales. We did the introduction to scales, and we said a scale is a succession of notes. A scale is a succession of notes in alphabetical order, either in ascending order or descending order. So, and I told you before, for you to understand the definition, the introduction or the definition and the meaning or the features and the functions of scales, you will need to understand the introduction of bass clef and treble clef. I told you, right? I told you that yeah, I taught you clefs. I taught you I told you there are 4 types of clefs. We have the bass clef, treble clef, tenor clef, and alto clef. But I told you that there are only 2 clefs that are basically and majorly used, which are your bass clef and treble clef, right? That all this explanation are in my lesson 11, 12, and 13. So you can watch it. You can just search. Just go on YouTube, search for my videos, search for lesson 11, search my name, Omagbo Bryce. You see my videos. You will see all the lessons there, so you can watch it. So so today we are going to be doing the interrelationship or the relationship between the bass clef and the treble clef. The interrelationship between the treble clef and the bass clef. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So this class is going to be a short one. It's not going to be long. So, but mind you, you wouldn't want to miss my next lesson, because in the next lesson, we're going to be doing the practical section. You know, all the while I've been introducing this this keyboard. I've been introducing this keyboard to you. This musical instrument. We've not done the practical. We've not played. I've not showed you the practical, how to play your scales, right? I've not showed you how to run your scales. Yes, I've not showed it to you. So it's going to be in my next lesson. And remember I told you, I said the reason why I was teaching you all this was because so that you can have a definite understanding about the theory of music. That I told you, music is not just when you play, you just come and you play song. That is not music. Music has to be organized. Music has to have a rhythmical pattern, and music has to have uh, uh, has to be pleasing to the ear. Remember I told you that in lesson 1. So, and I told you that before you can for you to understand the introduction of music and everything about music, you will need to know the practical section and both the theory section. So from my next lesson, I'm going to be dealing on the practical section. You wouldn't want to miss it. So, and if you're just watching the channel for the first time, please subscribe. When you hit the subscription button, what you get is you get notifications on my daily post. So, peradventure you wanted to learn the keyboard and you were not opportuned, or you were not you didn't get the chance. So this is the opportunity. So this one now, I'm going to run it down a series of keyboard training, all the lessons, everything you need to know about the keyboard, from the foundation to the basics to the to the advanced. I'm going to be teaching you everything you need to know about the piano, about the keyboard, about the organ. So what you can do is to subscribe to my channel. Just hit the subscription button so that you can be getting notifications on my daily post. You don't want to miss any lesson. So let's start from where we stop in our last lesson, lesson 14. So this lesson is lesson 15, remember. So let's continue. Let's move over to the keyboard. Hope you've gotten your keyboard ready. I told you to get your keyboard ready. Right? Get your keyboard ready. Get your writing materials, your notepads, Make sure, but most importantly, get your keyboard ready. You cannot be watching these lessons and all my lessons and you don't have a keyboard. It might not really work like that for you. It might not work like that for you. You might not really understand what I will be teaching because it's a practical section, right? So you need to get your keyboard ready. Yeah. So let's move over to the keyboard. So we'll start today's lesson. You are welcome. Subscribe. Yeah. So keyboard time, right? Hope you can you see the keyboard? Hope you can see my keyboard. Can you see it? Can you see the keyboard? Okay. Okay, so let's move over. Okay, so in our previous lesson, remember we were talking about the after we talked about scales. We left scales and we entered into treble clef, and I taught you what treble clef means. I taught you staff. I told you a staff is made up of your 5 horizontal lines and 4 spaces, and the staff contains your treble clef and your bass clef. I told you the treble clef is what controls what the right hand plays. Remember I showed it to you in the practical section. I showed it to you that for you to know what is called scales, you need to understand the dynamics of the treble clef and the bass clef. So in the last lesson we stopped at bass clef, right? So remember, and I told you that this is how. If you cannot remember your last lesson, let me do it again. I told you this is how you draw your bass clef. Remember I said if you want to draw your bass clef, you have, first of all, you first draw your staff. Remember, you draw your staff, your 5 lines, line 1, your line 2, your line 3, your line 4, and your line 5, right? Then you cut it here. and you cut it here, right? This is your staff. 5 horizontal lines, line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5, and 4 spaces, space 1, space 2, space 3, space 4. So I told you this is where you do it. You do your dot for the bass clef. This is the bass clef. Then you do this. Come here. Then you put your dot here. You put your dot here. You seen it? So this is for your bass clef. This is for your bass clef. So this is the bass clef. This is the bass clef. This bass clef controls what this left hand plays in the left-handed side of the keyboard. You understand? Remember I told you, I said it is the bass clef that dictates or determines it dictates what the left hand plays. So anything that is going to be inputted in this line of space, it contains the white keys. Any key I'm going to write in here. Let's fill in the space. Let's fill in the space and the space and the line. So I remember I told you for the bass clef, the letter starts from E, right? Start from E. Then we have F. So the first letter in the line is G. Then followed by A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and A. Remember, this is how we. This is for both the lines and the spaces of the bass clef. Both the lines, the letter names in the lines and the spaces of the bass clef, right? For example, this E. This is letter E. This letter E now in the bass clef, we have it here. Look at E here. Look at your E. Look at your E here. This is your E, letter E. Are you seeing it? This E that you see, this is E. F. So F is still in the line, but these lines are called ledger line. You can't see them. So we have your G. G is the first letter in the lines of the bass clef. Look at the G. Look at your A. A is in the space. A is in the space. B is in the line. Then this is your C. This is your C1. Sorry, this is your C2. Right? This is your C2. This is your C2. So this it continues C. It continues C, your D, your E, your F, your G, and your A. It continues like that. So this bass clef controls what the left hand plays in the left-handed side of the keyboard. And I told you what the left hand does is to back up what this right hand plays in the right-handed side of the keyboard, right? So if you're new in this channel and you don't understand what I'm teaching, eventually you've never watched my lesson 11, 12, and 13. You might not really understand this particular lesson. You need to go watch my lesson 11, 12, and 13. Just go to my YouTube page, YouTube channel, and search my name, or Mogbo Bright. You will see all my videos there, so you can watch them. So after, remember I told you this is the lines. The letter names of both the line and spaces of the bass clef. And I told you. I also gave it to you the ones I showed to you. This is coming just in minutes. Just give me a minute, I'll come back to you. So remember, this now is for the spaces. You know, we are done with both the line and the spaces. So this is only for the space. You can see A is in the space, C is in the space, your E is in the space, your G is in the space. Look at the ground one. This is the ground one. Can you say it? Can you pick out the space for me? You can see A is in the space. A is in the first space. Look at A, first space here. Then look at your C. C is second space. Are you seeing it? I see it. Then look at the third space. E is in the third space, and then your G is in the third, is the fourth space. So we are done with that. I also showed you the one that are in the lines. And I told you what the one that is the lines. We have your look at the one both. Look at the one that are in the lines. Can you see it? Look at your G. Your G is in the first line. G is in the first line. B is second line. B is second line. D is the third line. D is the third line here. This is the ground one. So this is this one that I brought out from the ground one. A is in the fourth line, fifth line rather, sorry. D is in the third line, D is in the third line, F is in the fourth line, then A is in the fifth line. So this is everything you need to know about TAFE. So now I want to merge together both the bass clef and treble clef. And I already introduced the middle C to you. I told you what the middle C. I told you the middle C is it's not what divides the keyboard. Remember I told you the middle C is not what divides the keyboard into half. It's not what it's not because this is the mid, this is the C. So this is the mid, this is what divide. No, here this is the middle C. Let me show you something. This key you see here, this is the middle C. Can you say this is the middle C? So this middle C, it is where both the lines and spaces of the treble clef and bass clef intersects. Yes, and this is where you play your song from. Most of the you're going to play from the right hand. This right hand is going to be playing soloing. If it's a solo song, if it's to play any chord, it's going to be starting from here, like. So what this left hand will just do is just back up. So I'm just backing up. Everything I just showed you in the bass clef was what I was just doing. I'm backing up with the left hand and then playing with the right hand on the middle C. So let me show you the point of intersection of both the bass clef and treble clef in the middle C. So you will know that is where we call middle C. So just follow me closely. Follow me closely, right? Follow me closely. So so just follow me. Follow me. So I want to bring the intersection of both the bass clef and the treble clef and where they both cut across each other, right? So we have your. So just follow me closely, please. In case you don't understand any question, please. You don't understand what I'm teaching, please drop your question. If you don't understand this lesson, drop your question. And if you've watched all my previous lessons, and you don't still understand, please drop your question. But if you have not watched my previous lesson and you're just watching this lesson for the first time, please go back to watch my lesson 14, lesson 13, lesson 12, lesson 11, lesson 10. Just watch everything. Do you understand? So let's draw the point of intersection where both the treble clef cuts the bass clef at the middle C. So this is, first of all, let's first draw your staff. You must draw your staff. Your line 1, line 2, your line 3, your line 4, your line 5. You see, you cut it. Line 5, you cut it here, you cut it here. Then you do another one. Line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, and line 5. Cut it here. You cut it here. Then you join two of them together. Are you seeing it? You see what I did? I joined two of them together. I joined the two of them together. Don't worry, I'm going to draw it again because you don't understand. I'll draw it again. Just follow me. So here I joined two of them together. So now, remember I want to draw both the bass clef and treble clef together. So the treble clef first. Start from here. Treble clef. Remember we'll draw it. We come from here like this. We'll go like this and we'll cut it across here. Then the bass clef is here, from here, right? You see. So let's first write the letter names of the treble clef. So we have your C here, you have your D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. No, this is for the treble clef. So for the bass clef, the first letter that starts it's what? It's your E, right? So this is your E. E start from here. This is your treble clef. Sorry, this is your bass clef. E. This is your bass clef. Bass clef. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Then we C. This is C. You can see the point of intersection. You can see C here. You can see C here. Now this C and this C is where both the treble clef and the bass clef meets. It's called the middle C. Look at it. It's called the middle C here. This C. This is, you can see, this is your you can say this is your E. I remember, like I showed you in the preview in before now. I showed you in the preceding in the previous classes. This is your E, your F, G, A, B, C. So this C now. This C is your what? Is your C2. This is your C2. There is a C here. So this one is C1. Look at it. Look at it. C1. So here is your C2. Here is C2. So the same thing. You follow closely like that until you get to your C3. This is your C3. This is your C3. This is your middle C. This is your C3. This is where the treble clef. You know, the treble clef start from here. That's what it means. What it means is that the treble, this C that you see here, it starts from this this middle C, the treble clef. This C starts here, and this is where the F ends. The C, the letter C ends. You see? So this is the middle C. Middle C is where both the intersection of both the bass clef and treble clef meets. This is the middle C. Look at it here. So the treble clef start from here, your C, while your bass clef start from your F. Bass clef, you can see it. Remember I said your treble clef is also called your G clef, right? And then your bass clef is also called your F clef. Why is it called your G clef and G clef? I said it's your treble clef is called G clef because this is in the G is in the like for example, look at the treble clef, for example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Treble clef. And I told you your C, your D, your E, F, G, A, B, C, D. So the G, sorry, there's a mix up here. Sorry. So let me explain. Okay, so I will teach it in my next class. I want this class to be a short one so that you won't have to get it. So that I won't confuse you. I'll teach it in my next class. I'll repeat it again. But for now, what you can do is, peradventure you're watching for the first time, you can subscribe to my channel. Subscribe. I will see you in my next class, right? God bless you.